That was like my first job where it started to mix working in nightlife and being able to mix in my music, which was fantastic because you're a certain level of performer until you start watching acts every single night, multiple acts, and starting to notice when really good bands lose their audience, when kind of shitty bands keep an audience engaged the whole time. So it was a really great like learning opportunity for me to understand like how to produce a show, when songs should come in, how to get quiet and get an audience to be engaged. And like Sayers was a really important part.
Sayers was really, we saw so many incredible acts there. Like
That was I didn't work when you guys worked, but that was my favorite place to work.
I saw Prince one time. He had
Yes.
I mean, you could Google that. He was there and like I was bartending and everybody got quiet and you just hear this bass being slapped hardcore and like I couldn't see. So I got on the bar and there's Prince just slapping away, just going to town. And I think I heard that he had to get carried, like his security carried him back to his table. Like a baby.
That doesn't shock me.
I remember seeing him, but I missed the carrying.
Yeah, I heard that. It could be.
I remember being there one time and Steven Tyler just hopped up on stage.
Yeah, I mean, Pharrell, I saw everybody. And then my favorite parts, though, are where the labels would come in and showcase new artists to other labels. And like, that was insane.
Yeah.
Because we would see people that no one had heard of yet that were just about to blow up, like doing something that they just wrote, which is like high intensity, a lot of energy around that like new project. It was so...
LP.
Dude,
she is incredible. My God. So happy we got to see them like when they were babies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, rise up.
It's always cool to like look back on that part of life and just reminisce. And like the one thing Shea always does for me is I like to complain a lot about sometimes my jobs and some of the things that I've done. But she'll always be like, do you realize what you've got to done, what your opportunities you have? And I'm like, yes, Shea. And she'll completely like bash it into me. But like, it's 100% right. Most people don't get to live and experience a third of the things an eighth of the things that we've experienced throughout our lives. Like just people are like, wait, you saw Prince? Really? It's like, yeah.
In a venue that held like 300 people.
And we got paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, David Foster Wallace has this like talk that he did for like some graduation and it's beautiful. And in it, he tells the story about these two fish and they're swimming and this old fish comes by and he goes, how's the water today? And the little fish look at each other and they go, what's water? When something is so normal, we take it for granted. We go, what's water? What's water? Prince is right there in a 300-seat theater. I watched Stevie Wonder sing Happy Birthday to his daughter. Like, these are like life-changing moments that people would like kill to be at, but because it's water to us and it's normal, it's really easy to be like, ugh, I have to work another shift. I'm so tired. It's exhausting, you know?
Right.
We like find the way to be negative. And I think the generation we all grew up in, it was the way everyone bonded. It was like cheesy to bond over something positive. So we bonded over like, this sucks, that's lame, you know?
Yes.
And it kept that like perpetuating.
I mean, we worked in a party.
Yes.
I got paid a lot. I mean, still do. Shea will still come and work random festivals here and there very, very slowly. Bro, it's funny though, because we'll all be there setting up and she'll be sitting reading a book.
Yeah.
Like the music's bumping loud as can be. But then she also told me, she's like, well, I also just do that because nobody bothers you when you read a book. So then I don't actually have to set up because everyone just thinks I'm reading a book. I'm like, huh.
Also, do you know what kind of like mind acrobatics it is? I feel like I've done so much mind training. If you can read a book whilst like a DJ is like jamming, you can read a book anywhere.
That's incredible.
Like you cannot break my focus. I am literally in my book. It's really cool.
And just read the book.
I was always envious like of seeing, you know, even after a shift, someone's sitting there reading a book and just so relaxed. And I mean, everybody else is normally drunk and like doing.
I was gonna say it's hard to read when you're wasted.
Right.
It's not an easy thing.
That's incredible. You know, since we're getting you in season 2. It'd be fun to kind of mix season 1 and season 2 because in season 1 we are, I guess the tone of it was what it was like working in these venues and like fun stories, and then we would get into how it affected us.
Yeah.
And then season 2 is more about like how we grew from it, right? So I guess it's gonna be like a combination.
Because we haven't had somebody on that's worked in like nightlife with us.
Exactly.
And like, because Shea's not your normal human being by any means. So because most people who come out of nightlife, like so many people get stuck in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, she has a play going on Broadway that she's written incredible music for. She has a foundation helping women all over the world. It has so many courses, series, like she's built these incredible things that most people don't do. So it's like, I think that'd be really cool to just show the growth aspect and how she went from A to B and how, you know, you can do that.
Yes. One of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Oh.
I do miss those times where I'd take you home after work and we'd have little conversations and those are always like the the like most memorable stuff. Like even all the crazy celebrities that we ran into and all the fun times. I remember like those times I used to take Shea home and we'd have like a deep
Really
conversation. You know,
That's the thing is I think a lot of people think this world is vapid. And I have met so many deep, wonderful people because there's a lot of time to stand around and actually talk.
Yeah.
And we would spend so many nights, like for hours, just with each other. And so we got really close and we got really deep. And I think coming to a city like Los Angeles and all having a dream and trying to do that dream and still pay your bills, it like puts you in a really humble place to then be able to get deep if you're willing to. And we always had that. And that was really cool. And I think that I've always been interested in people and I love people. And I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to work in nightlife because it isn't really my personality, but it opened me up to a world I would have been closed off to and judgmental of.
Yeah.
I'm not judgmental of that because some of my best favorite friends are like, have the biggest boobs you've ever seen in a corset. And I'm like, she's a genius, you know? It's like, that's awesome. And so many other people are like dumb slut. You know, it's like we can compartmentalize people and limit people. And thank God I worked in nightlife because I don't do that.
Yeah, because like you said, there's a stigma that like you see a girl where it's like, oh, you must be this gold digging girl with all these things. And it's like, they're here doing this to pay off medical school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like
They're pursuing their acting career, their singing career, they're writing
whatever
a
it
book.
is.
Like they're not
it's
just
like-
what they look like on the surface.
Yeah, and it's like, we make so much money.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you do it? But there is such a stigma that surrounds it, especially when it comes to women in the industry. Like, it's a heavily male dominated industry. It's okay for us to be doing it, and it's like, all right, you're doing as long as you're moving up the ranks. But it's like if you're a female doing it, they give you such a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it really helped me too because I was able to fund my projects. I was able to like have a little bit of money to actually put toward recording, have a little bit of money to actually put toward my art, to actually learn how to do things. You can't do that if you're broke in LA.
Yeah.
I mean, it pays for
can't.
all of this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm super grateful for it. And then we had our days free.
Yeah.
We had our days free in Southern California. Like, get out.
Now we get to do it where like we travel places and just do it for like, instead of every Monday to every Friday, Saturday, Sunday for months on end, we just do it one weekend.
Yeah.
And like, I'll see you in 2 months.
Mikey Tableman has saved my life with this, by the way. When I moved to New York City and I didn't know what I was going to do, it was like I had just gotten this opportunity to write this album alongside Laura Bell Bundy. And it was a big theatrical album, and I'd never done anything like this before. So the whole time I'm like, they're going to fire me, they're going to fire me, they're going to fire me. And I had no money. And Mikey was like, come and work these festivals. And I was like, really? Thank you so much. So I would fly. I would make just enough to scrape by so I could spend all of my time learning how to write this crazy intense music for an orchestra. And it was awesome. And it freed me and it gave me this really unique moment in time and opportunity to like express. And now it's like turned into so many different things. So I love you. I'm like forever grateful.
I love you so much. But it was funny because like when I first met her, that's when I was still being a degenerate. So she was like, I don't know about him. And then, but now we're like we're so tight.
Yeah.
I just visited her in Nashville and like we didn't even go out anywhere. We just like, literally stayed in her house, drank coffee, talked, and watched South
That's
Park.
amazing.
For
You really
for 4 days. That's all we did.
Yeah, that's real friendship.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
for
that
sure.
is.
Like you don't have to do anything.
So I want to get into how you started this big orchestra thing, because I knew you were an artist and you
Yeah.
were a singer. And
Well, do you want to start with Woman of Tomorrow? Because that's kind of how everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So, gosh, man, my life is such an interesting surrender experiment. I was in bands that you knew, and we were like electronic alternative, and I was like always trying to learn and always trying to grow, and I would do different projects with different men, and I had the whole situation where like guys would be inappropriate and hit on me, and my manager would send me inappropriate text after a meeting, like your body, that dress, like horrible. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to make music anymore. This is going to make me hate music. So I was like going to walk away and quit. And right before I quit, I have this girlfriend who's so incredibly talented. And she was like the person I'd wanted to be as a little girl. She's been on Broadway. I think she was like 7. She originated like Elle Woods and Legally Blonde and Amber and Hairspray. And she's a
What?
beast. And she's so talented and so kind. And she was like, I just finished doing the show at Town Hall where we did all of these different jazz covers, and we called it Double Standards. And they were like jazz standards, all about like women's inequality. And it was like they raised $100,000 for Planned Parenthood. It was, Ingrid Michaelson was in it, and Sarah Bareilles, all these awesome people. And she's like, I feel so inspired and I want to write an original album about all these different issues that women are facing. And we talk about this stuff all the time, like write it with me. And I was like, oh no, she's going to think I suck. I can't write with her. She's going to, and then she won't want to be my friend. And I think she's so cool. So I told her no. And she hounded me like a creditor. And she kept coming to my house and I was going through a breakup. And I was like, girl, I cannot do this with you. So she forced me and we wrote a song in an hour and we had such chemistry. And I thought, oh, I could never recreate that. That was just like, thank you, God, so much for doing me a solid. This was a fluke. I get one song on the album. Great. And so she comes back at me 2 days later and was like, that was so easy. We have such chemistry. Write another one. I'm like, I cannot write another song. At this point, I decided to move to New York with no job, no nothing, just because I needed to get away from my like ex. And she comes in my house. She sits down on the couch. She refuses to leave. We write another song.
Damn.
And I fly to New York. We're also working with our third composer, Jeremy Edelman, who's amazing. And I land in New York and she's like, write the whole album with me. You can do it. And I was like, I can't. I don't know how to write this kind of music. This is a fluke. Trust me, you're going to fire me. And she believed in me. And if you have one person in the world that believes in you, that doesn't want to have sex with you, you can do anything. I totally believe in it.
So free.
If they want to have sex with you, you're always a little like, do you believe in me?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But when they don't, then you know.
We're not going anywhere, bro. Sorry. Damn it.
So yeah, we wrote this whole album.
Really good one.
And I'm so proud of it. And I got to sing about issues I really give a shit about. Like we have a song on there that's about how freaking hard it is to be an American girl. And one of the lines was, too young for the bar, so I went to the bank. Got a loan for college, where all I did was drink. Working so hard to repay Sally Mae. Gonna have to freeze my eggs if I want kids someday. Like these are issues I'm worried about.
Wow.
And I don't want to just sing another fake love song or like, wait for my husband to come and to have beautiful children. No, I want to sing about the that's hard for me right now and the that's hard for my friends too.
She sang that at my first event and every girl went wild. It was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. So it was.
Not there?
Yes, you were.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you went wild. Obviously, it made an
I
impact
didn't.
on you.
I think I had just missed. No, I did. I had just missed you.
We're going to go with that.
Now you're lying. I'm calling you out because you were there for her too.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, but was it the part where I had to go like around the back to like go up the lift? It took like, anyways.
Blame it on the wheelchair.
I'm
Did we
I'm
just
pulling the
see that?
card. Shit was not. I had to get carried
We did have to carry you up the
like
stairs.
Prince.
That's true. It was Skybar, which is ridiculous.
It was Skybar, exactly. See, I remember that.
Like Prince. I love this rumor about Prince. Prince only gets carried.
Yes.
So the album has just had a whole life of its own, and we were really excited to tour it, and then COVID hit, and the Broadway Podcast Network asked us if we would do a podcast where we did a deep dive into each song and the issue women are facing, and we learned all of this women's history so we could do the podcast, and realized we didn't know jack about women's history. And when you don't know the history, like you really don't know what you're fighting for. And a lot of the issues we're facing right now is we just have no access to information. And we haven't taught people how to think critically. So we're all sitting here open to be manipulated and told that we should be at odds with men.